Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to answer a question that keeps coming up again and again and again, and that's obviously the job of the channel, that is to answer questions. So today we are going to answer the question, how do I grow my ball python bigger, chunkier, stronger? Now obviously there's limits on size. Genetically they're limited to a certain size. I've explained this in other videos, like how big do ball pythons get. So you won't get a 10-foot one, but they can vary a lot in size, mainly because of how we treat them, how we raise them, and the care we give them. And you can influence, how big and chunky they get to a certain extent. So I'm just going to do a quick video on this. It's not going to be too fancy with the editing and all that, but basically there's 3 things we need to cover here. And these guys are getting upset because they're hungry. So the first thing, and this is easy to understand, is hygiene, right? And I want to get into the habit of thinking about everything in terms of energy. So I know this doesn't immediately make you think of hygiene, but for the first point here, I want to just imagine that your snake is using its energy for multiple things, particularly when it's growing. It's using its energy for its baseline metabolism, but it's diverting energy to growth, and its immune system is using some of its energy as well. And when I say energy, I mean energy from fat and protein, mainly from their food source. So something that I always have handy is F10SC, veterinary disinfectant. You might not be able to get this in the States or Canada, honestly I'm not sure, but you will be able to get a veterinary approved disinfectant which is non-toxic, non-irritant, non-corrosive and safe to use around your reptiles. And you'll be able to use that every single time you clean them out. Maintain a really good standard of hygiene no matter what kind of enclosure you've got them in, and that is, just think about energy that your snake could be spending fighting germs of different types. It's just going to put it towards growth. That's really simple. That's a quick one. Number 2, I've actually got a rat here as well, so I hope I don't get bit at some point during the video. Number 2 is the quality of the food that you give your snakes. Now I recently explained in a video about whether you should give your ball python vitamin supplements, that if you feed them healthy prey, you don't really need to worry about that. Basically, they can get everything they need from their prey, and that keeps it really nice and simple for us owners, right? You feed them good rodents from a supplier you trust. You don't buy rodents from a big chain pet store that may have bought them from, who knows where. You buy them from someone you can contact on the phone, and they've been fed well up until, the day they were cold or the day you feed them. For example, vitamins like vitamin C, they can leave an animal's body very quickly, so it's important that they were fed right up until the point they were cold, frozen, or, given to your snake. So these first 2 points, they're pretty simple. I mean, most people can connect the dots and say, well, Will, I didn't really need you to tell me that, but it's important to mention them and keep them in mind at all times anyway. Now, for the third point, it's a bit more complicated. But here we have 2 snakes which quite clearly don't want to behave on a video. I've actually got a scale. I was gonna weigh them, but that's clearly not going to happen. So I'll just weigh the food that I'm giving to both of these snakes. 85 grams with the bag, so that's about a 70-gram rat. And as you can see, I've got this little bongo super pastel spot nose 100% het for clown male who's trying to escape. And I've got my big boy Bobby here, who's quite a lot older. You can tell just by looking, they're completely different sizes, but I would feed them the same size prey. And you'll notice as well that this prey looks quite big compared to the little guy. Now, why on earth would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. And how can they maintain the same body weight, the same everything on the same size of prey if one's twice the size of the other? I'm actually just letting Bobby go where he wants now. He's just exploring. Well, it's very simple. Bobby is 15 years old. He doesn't breed. I'm not going to breed him. I just don't want to breed normal ball pythons, but he's a pet and I'll never get rid of him. So, Bobby's 15 years old. He's not breeding. He's not growing. His baseline metabolism is easily maintained with a rat that size every couple of weeks, or I could give him a bigger one once a month. This baby, on the other hand, is a male under a year old. He is racing to grow as fast as he can to get to breeding size. A huge proportion of his energetic intake is going to be diverted to growth, to growing his body size and developing, his sex organs and his overall body weight, so that he can mature and breed as quickly as possible. So a snake that is much smaller may need prey as big as a snake that is much bigger. And that is it in a nutshell. If you don't give a snake that is smaller prey that's bigger in proportion to its body size, it won't grow as big or as quickly. And that is simple. So, I hope I've answered this reasonably well, despite the fact that they're both trying to escape and they're both quite moody today. But if you have any other questions, or if you want to know anything else, please do comment. And as always, please do like and subscribe. Thank you very much.